G'day everyone, I'm at Bali's Denpasar airport and I'm just about to fly back to Sydney on board Qantas's A330-200 in economy class. Before I get started, a quick shout out to King Gamer Jr. I hope you enjoyed your flight back from Hawaii. Also a special shout out to Reese and his mother Lisa. Reese, I hope you get your chance to enjoy your first plane ride real soon. Bali's airport is the second largest airport in Indonesia, behind Jakarta's Soekarno-Hatta International Airport. Bali's airport had over 21 million passengers in 2018, which is a 10% increase from the previous year. Before you pass through security, there are a few food stores to grab something to eat and drink. Check-in at the Qantas counter was pain-free with no queue. This only took a few minutes. Once you get past immigration, you walk through a very large duty-free store. Then past the high-end brand name shops, and then onto another area with a few good choices of food outlets. My top pick of food at Bali's airport is Made's Warung, which serves up some great traditional Balinese food. Of course, before my flight, I squeezed in a bit of plane spotting. A big happy birthday to KLM, which turned 100 years old in 2019. And another big happy birthday to Qantas, which will turn 100 this year in November. So here comes my plane to take us back to Sydney. Unfortunately, the plane was delayed 3 hours arriving into Bali. I had received an SMS message during the day advising that rather than 9:20 PM takeoff, it would be delayed to 12:20 AM. When we got on board, the captain did explain the reason for the delay, which I'll play the audio of his announcement. Once I heard the reason, I regretted all the cursing at Qantas for the delay. So time to get on board and check out the flight experience.
Thank you. Window seat for you, Scott, down this first. Thank you.
What do you mean?
A quick look at the business class seats. I had requested an upgrade to business class, but the flight was full, so no seats were available for me. This plane, named Kangaroo Island, is 8 years old, joining the Qantas fleet in 2012. It has 27 business class seats and 224 economy seats, so a total of 251 passengers. So here is my window seat 51A, which has a width of 17.2 inches and a pitch of 31 inches, which gives plenty of space between my knees and the seat in front. This plane has a seatback entertainment screen rather than the iPad which I had on the Qantas plane flying up to Bali. There is a USB port next to the screen for charging your electronic devices, and the food tray folds down and is quite sturdy for holding your meal. The entertainment screen is loaded up with more than 1,000 hours of latest release movies, old classics and TV shows. More than enough for this 5.5 hour flight. The touchscreen on my unit was not so responsive. I had to press a number of times to make a selection. To bring up the flight map should just be one press, but in my case it was several presses, and then finally the flight map would appear. You get these cheap pair of headphones to use with the entertainment system. Also in the seat pocket is a copy of the excellent Qantas in-flight magazine. So here is the captain explaining why the flight was delayed.
Roger, listen, Captain. My name's Jeremy Grinoff, and joining me today is First Officer Glenn McKay. It's our pleasure to welcome aboard our Qantas 44 service down to Sydney this evening. I do apologise for our delayed departure this evening. The aircraft has arrived inbound a couple of hours late, and rather unfortunate, one of the crew just before departure out of Sydney this afternoon was actually notified and his house had burnt down during the fires in around the Sydney area today. So that was very distressing, and he had to stand himself down and obviously couldn't operate, and that took them a couple of hours to find a new crew member. So that's why we're running late.
So very sad news from the captain, but really good that they explained the delay, which is very uncommon for airlines. So time to go, so sit back and enjoy the takeoff video, and I'll be back after to show you the food served on board.
G'day, and welcome to Qantas. For almost 100 years we've been connecting Aussies with the world, and the entire world with the spirit of Australia. Wherever your journey takes you today, arriving safely is our first priority. So pay attention for the next few minutes to learn the features of your Qantas Airbus A330, and we'll show you just how far and wide our spirit roams.
Aussie, huh?
How'd you guess?
You're sitting in the front seat.
Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. If your seat is fitted with a sash belt, ensure it's in place for takeoff and landing. You can undo your seatbelt by pressing the button or lifting the flap. For your safety, keep it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is on. That includes
As the captain mentioned earlier, we have a flying time of 5 hours and 30 minutes. 5 hours and 30 minutes down to Sydney this morning. Shortly the crew will be coming through and offering you refreshment.
So straight after takeoff, the crew came around and served some food and drinks. We had 3 choices, and I went for this dish of beef with mashed potatoes and green beans, served with a small garlic bread and a small dessert. Now let me tell you, this meal tasted a lot better than it looks. Economy food on Qantas definitely seems to be declining in presentation, but at least it still tastes good. After the meal, I maybe got about 2 hours of very uncomfortable sleep. I really cannot sleep well sitting up in an economy seat. Now landing into Sydney was a very smoky affair. New Year's Day, Sydney was covered in smoke from the bushfires. Now my camera did not work well, and the light sensor was overexposing the footage. So flying over Sydney Harbour and landing into Sydney Airport is very unclear. So here endeth the review. Apologies for not having the landing video. Thanks for watching everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I have loads more flight reviews coming soon. Happy flying everyone.